Niatnya mau study abroad to Japan tapi malah ke China. Kaca hal panggil wasya aja. And today I'm gonna do my graduation makeup while explaining my application journey to studying abroad and getting accepted to 5 universities. And I'm also gonna be answering some questions that I've already put up on my Instagram story. So let's go. So the first question is there any reason why you didn't choose TU, and do you think TOEFL is important for apply scholarships? So people ask me this a lot, like, you've got such a great acceptance on universities, why didn't you choose those instead? Initially, I wanted to go to Japan because it's been like my dream to go to Japan. I just love everything about Japan. I feel like Japan is my place, and I've already went to Japan. I did a study tour at 11th grade, and I've just said to myself that this is what I'm gonna get into. This is the place where I will be studying for my university. But suddenly, it hits me that when I applied to China's university, I got accepted, and my family wanted me to go to China instead because I stuttered a lot here. So basically what I was trying to say is that China's living cost is way much cheaper than Japan. Especially my second option was Tokyo International University, and it's like the city that is very fully packed and expensive. Everything is very expensive. And also, the university that I applied to in China is both a joint university. So when I graduate, I will get a double degree from UK and China, which is very appealing to me. And it correlates more with my major, which is international relation. And I will tell you why in the next few seconds. And I also forgot to explain, my family convinced me because my great-grandmother originated from Macau, so it's basically me pulang kampung. Okay, now let's continue. And like, one of the things that I didn't listen to what people said is that they kept saying that don't apply for like many universities abroad because you will get confused, and they are 100% right. When I got accepted to Japan's university, like Tokyo International Universities and also Ritsumeikan APU, and then the following days I got accepted into UNNC and also XJTLU. I was so torn and devastated because I didn't know what to choose. And then after like several consideration, I had to like state out the things that what is beneficial for me and what is not. So like at Japan, I got a 4-year scholarships, and then I've already learned the languages like before I got into high school, so I've already like known the basics. And then everything there is very international. And then when I consider Chinese universities, when I saw XJTLU and UNNC, it shows that they will give you a double degree. And then there's like these amazing opportunities such as like 2+2 program where students can like study at China, and then 2 years after they will study at UK or another country that they will pick. And then when I looked up my major and stuff, I did my own research and felt that like my major fits more into the Chinese universities, and like I feel like the languages will relate more when I went to Chinese universities instead, because like international relations, the language that we'll mainly use is English, right? So if I went to Japan and I learned Japanese instead, I feel like the Japanese language itself will only be used on their own country and not like international like, and not like global like. So that I considered Chinese universities because as we all know that Mandarin is like the second or like maybe first global or international language, right? So I feel like it correlates more into my major. And then, this is my opinion, I feel like if you are like still confused on what will you work after college, you shouldn't be taking Japan, because mostly if you studied at Japan, you will also work at Japan. And I didn't see myself working at Japan, but I see myself working more globally, so I consider Chinese universities instead. So I don't really recommend going to Japan if you're like me, still figuring out where to work and doesn't plan to work at Japan. And that's basically it. Do I think that TOEFL is important for application for scholarships? Yes, it's very important. TOEFL is like one of the requirements if you want to go study abroad, not just like apply scholarships itself, but also getting accepted to universities abroad. But you should be considering into IELTS, even though it's quite hard and it's more challenging than TOEFL. But IELTS just gets you everywhere to studying abroad, so it's more beneficial and it's just like an easy access. If you're like very good at English, just take IELTS instead than TOEFL. And if I'm not mistaken, IELTS lasts like 3 years. So if you have like an IELTS certificate, it will last you for 3 years for you to apply to different universities abroad. Okay, next question. I will be answering 2 questions. What methods do you choose for learning until you get accepted by this? And then, how did you get 7.0 overall score IELTS? So, I kind of went nonsense on this, so basically what methods that I use is take as many as mock tests as you can and just fully immerse yourself to those 3 hours worth of studying. So when you get used to those 3 hours, whether if you're tired, you're happy or sad, you will still achieve those things successfully and smoothly on the day of the official tests. My learning method is just like dedicate yourself into IELTS itself. Try to like research on tips and trick on how to do IELTS. So for example, if you're bad at writing, you should try to find like a tips and trick on how does getting a good score on writing works. I actually started from 5.5. I was like really bad at writing, reading and stuff, and like funny thing is that one of my weakness was reading. I was like very bad at reading, and it took me so long to just read one paragraph, and I just started from 5.5 until I got 7.0 because I started asking around on how to get good score and tips and tricks that actually works the best for me, because everybody has their own ways and methods to apply to themselves to get a better score. One of the most crucial thing that you should do for preparing for IELTS is mock tests. And I feel like mock tests really benefits me the most and really upgraded myself. People ask how I got 8.5 on my listening. It's because, honey, there is no tips. It's because I'm just naturally a good listener. I feel like when it's like a conversation, I would like to listen to someone's opinion more rather than just yapping myself out of it. Tips and trick for listening is just like read the question beforehand and try to guess the answer before hearing the words. And another thing is that you should focus on what they're saying and just try to find like one of the keywords and highlights, because I feel like when it's IELTS listening, there are like words that they highlight the most in like a sentence. And then for my reading, actually I wasn't very good. It was like a week before the official IELTS test. I asked my teacher on like how do I get a better score at reading? I ran out of storage, so what I was trying to say is that I asked my teacher and she gave me advice to skip the questions that requires you to read all of the paragraphs and just find the ones that is easy for you to find the answers quickly. Okay, so I've finished doing my makeup and my hairdo, and I'm already on the way to the graduation place, and I'm gonna be continuing the questions now. So the next question is, why did you choose XJTLU? The reason why I chose XJTLU after careful consideration, it's because I guess it's because of their double degree, and I think XJTLU provides like an international environment that actually fits perfect for me and my major, and I want to be able to make more connections in the future between people from different backgrounds and countries, and also I guess it's pretty much it, and it's also affordable for me on the perspective of the living costs and the uni itself, and they also gave me a scholarships, but it's not that big, but it did help me, so yeah. I have already made my decision. I am going to XJTLU, and I will be going to China at September to take my bachelor's degree. And the funny thing is that XJTLU wasn't even my top 3. My first option was Ritsumeikan APU, second was Tokyo International University, and then the third was University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China. Why didn't I choose UNNC? Because it's kinda more expensive, and I feel like XJTLU is more affordable, and I feel like Suzhou is like a very nice city to live and like stay there for my educations. Okay, so the next question is, what's your plan after college? I actually really like this question because I think about it like almost all the time. And like, I'm the type of person who would like to plan things before it happens, and pretty much I am going to work at UK. Why did I choose UK instead of China? Because as far as I know, it's very hard to apply for their working visa. I guess for us foreigners, it's kind of hard to get a job there. It's like around 30 to 40%. And since I will be graduating with a double degree in the UK, I think it's pretty beneficial for me to be able to work at the UK instead, since it's also an English language country. And yeah, and probably I will be joining like an international company or UN. I'm actually like considering the UNICEF, but let's see in the future. This question is, actually I'm with my brother right now. Can you tell me the question instead?
What is your obstacle and challenges during the process of application and preparation?
That's actually a really good question. I feel like us students that wants to go study abroad and not taking BTN is much more harder. Not actually. I mean, like the preparation for IELTS, and maybe if the university requires SAT, it'll be much harder. Especially when people are just having fun, there's an event at school, competitions going on, and an exam or something like that, and people are just hanging out. You're just there sacrificing your time just to study well for the test and also the application to the uni itself. Because during my application week, it did happen to me that I was joining a competition, dance competition there, and there was like 2 dance competition, and I had to practice every day, but I also have to take mock tests, so I just keep going back and forth and sacrificing my time, and just like it was such a chaos. But the table takes turn when it's actually like an examination week or PTN application week, and you're just there confused and everybody's just focusing on their studies and you're just
waiting for your application to come out.
And I guess that's one of the obstacle. But for maybe the application, I use an agent and they helped me a lot, and it's because of them I got to get accepted to 5 university. I think it's pretty much it. I don't think there's like an obstacle that really made me like feel challenged. Next question.
Kak, kalau misalnya nggak ada persiapan nor prestasi, gitu bisa kuliah di luar negeri nggak, Kak?
I feel like you should at least have a preparation, like prepare yourself. Jangan sampai kayak nol aja, kamu langsung gas-gas apply aja. If you have like a zero prestasi, mungkin kamu bisa kayak join komunitas kayak OSIS and stuff like that, that have like certificates, and you could like add those certificates to your application and they would view it as well. And kalau bisa, if you really want to go abroad, you should be able to give an effort and like try to join competitions yang at least di antara sekolah dulu, and then if you're ready you can take national, and then if you really want to upgrade your documents and CV and stuff like that, you should be able to join competitions that are international. So when the university sees your certificates, they will consideration of accepting you. I feel like that.
What grade do you start focusing on your studies, and when do you start to focus for college abroad?
When I was like around grade 10, I've already choose that I am not going to take pattern whatsoever, and I wanted to go abroad, studying abroad. At 10th grade, I just focused myself into joining more competitions such as like speech competitions, and just fully booked myself into joining competitions. And then at 10th grade, I just started to do my own research on what country that I want to apply for, and like finding out what major suits me the best. And then on 11th grade, I started to focus on my own research of like what universities I want to apply, and then like just do my own research on the universities that I wanted to apply. And then I started to like joining like Mandarin classes, and then I also looked up like what are the requirements to go abroad, and the most important thing is I think it's IELTS, because like if you don't have language proficiency, I don't think you can like easily apply universities abroad. And so on 12th grade, I just went straight into like joining IELTS classes, which I really put myself into it. And I think what benefits me the most from those classes is that I've got to like make some friends, and then I've learned the tips and tricks on how to do listening, reading, speaking, and also writing, and actually I improved very much.
Setahun lagi boleh gak Kak nanyanya? How to be pretty and smart at the same time tutorial. Ini berangkatnya kalau kuliah jalan ya?
Jalan-jalan dengan sepatu rodaku, kiri kanan ikuti irama lagu, semua mata hanya tertuju padaku.
Yeah. Okay, love you guys. Don't forget to smile.